So Meet Your Maker is finally out, and if you guys haven't played the beta and you don't really know how this game works, it can be very confusing, especially when you're raiding other people's bases and you don't really know how to use your equipment properly. In this video, I'm giving you guys 5 beginner tips for raiding other people's bases in Meet Your Maker. So for those of you that don't know what this game is about, it's pretty much a game where you can build your own base and raid other people's bases. You can basically set up an outpost that's designed like a maze or just a total death trap. I did make a review video of the game if you want to learn more about it. So here is 5 tips that hopefully makes you a better raider in this game. Tip number 1 is always keep an ace up your sleeve. So when you're raiding someone's outpost, when you're in the command center area, go to each station and see what you're able to upgrade. You can restock up on grenades. You can buy new weapons or upgrade your current weapons to have increased max ammo capacity or just a fast fire rate. All comes in handy, especially for the more harder bases. But make sure you check out every station so you guys can be fully equipped with equipment before you go in. My advice is when you first go in, start off with the blade and the regular plasma gun. Those seem to work best, especially for the easy to medium bases. For tip number 2, you want to master the grappling hook. So escaping is key in this game, and the grapple hook is how you're going to escape a lot of dangerous situations. So the grappling hook is automatically equipped to every character, and you would use these in certain situations, like if you ran into a dart trap or a spike trap or the cluster grenade trap. You're able to pull yourself away pretty quickly, and I also found it good for dodging guards' bullets and able to get around it. Once you master that movement, you're going to see a big difference to how you can even raid the toughest bases by just avoiding a lot of the damage. Tip number 3 is learn the signs. So there's 3 different categories of bases that you can raid. You have the easiest one, and then you have the third one, which is the most dangerous one, which will be the hardest. But even the hardest outpost still has to make things fair and still possible for you to actually win. Now, when they place a lot of traps, they cannot be triggered by themselves, nor can they kill you without giving you time to react. So your reaction time plays a big factor in this game. In order for a trap to activate, it needs to physically see you in front of it. Once you're in front of a trap, you'll hear a noise and you'll see it go off, which means you have to be aware of every corner of your surroundings when you're raiding a base. Now, once the trap goes off, the trap is now done. It closes up and you're able to destroy the trap. Unless they have an actual mod on it that lets it go twice, but most of the time you'll notice when they do because you'll see it about to go off again. So when you're going in someone's base, remain vigilant because even the most unexpected places could have a deadly trap that you would never even known about. Tip number 4 is change it up. So if you're struggling to raid another player's base, best thing to do is find a way to alter your approach. Look for other entry points, change your loadout, or head back to the sanctuary and stock up on new hardware. When I was playing the beta and I had a hard time raiding people's bases, what I would do is find different alternative ways I can go or different techniques and strategies, which is why I love this game, because it actually makes you think. For example, if they have a base that's full of guards and soldiers shooting at you, it is best to use the crossbow because the crossbow is perfect for taking out guards. If they have a base with less guards but more physical traps on the walls and ceilings and floor, it is best to go with the plasma gun because the plasma gun can actually destroy the trap with one bullet, where the crossbow cannot destroy traps with their bullets. And then if it's still too hard for you, you can always do co-op and raid the base with a friend. And I'm telling you, when you're raiding a base with 2 people, it is so much easier than if you were just by yourself. And then tip number 5, we have prepare for the second wave. So every raid in Meet Your Maker is split into 2 waves. So during the first wave, you'll go into the outpost and fight your way to the gen mat and steal it. The second you steal the gen mat, you will activate the second wave of traps. And you won't see these traps until after you grab the gen mat. You'll see these traps just appear out of nowhere. But that's only if that player of that base set up traps for the second wave. If, for example, you build a base and you don't put traps for the second wave, then after you steal the gen mat, nothing's gonna happen. But I've known a lot of bases to do where they have traps for the first wave, but not that much, to where it seems pretty easy. And then when you grab the gen mat for the second wave, it gets really tough because they have so much traps waiting for you on the way out. And if you die on the second wave, then you will have to start all over again from the first wave. So it can get pretty frustrating, but overall, the more you play it, the better you'll get, the better your strategies will get. And I hope at least one of these tips helped you guys out to become a better raider.